Hi, it's Romella. It is the Monday, the 20th of April, and this is our spiritual support, our collective channeling for you as highly sensitive people, as empaths, and to really support you for this week. The first thing I just want to chat about is just about having listened to my body this morning. I am feeling really tired today. I had a really lovely weekend. Wasn't very hyper busy, but just woke this morning, just this sluggish energy. And I think it was in a couple of weeks ago, I said about listening to your body. I mean, as empaths, we should always listen to our body. But it's not just listening, it's taking the action. And the action for me was not to push on and do this video earlier, like I would have done normally, but actually just to slow down. And actually, I went and had a meditation and a little nap, just to replenish myself on multiple levels. So just, I do listen to what I say, I do take the action as well, but I'm just really reflecting back to you is what is your body saying to you today, this week, and what can you do to support it? That's the really important thing. Maybe it's more water, maybe it's going for doing some exercise, going for a walk, maybe it's having a bath, maybe it's having a sleep, maybe it's meeting friends for a coffee, and really listen to what is it that your body on all its levels is actually communicating to you as support that it would like to receive. So let us have a look. So our first card, we have self-sabotage. And first you need to believe you're worthy. Now it's quite funny. So I'm sat here in the garden. The cherry tree to my left, it's got these beautiful blossoms very similar to this, and I was just thinking how pretty they look against the green. But self-sabotage, isn't that something that we can do all the time? So the self-sabotage, just like I was saying with listening to my body, if I hadn't have gone to rest, then actually my energy would have been more depleted. I would probably have been hangrier. I would have been, by the time 5 o'clock came along, I would not have been in a particularly good place energetically. And you can self-sabotage by not actually listening to what your body, and by your body I mean your physical, your mental, emotional, spiritual to some level as well, what it's actually saying to you, what is going to support you, what it actually needs. Because that is the first self-sabotage. Is I could have said, well, I've got loads to do today. Monday's one of my busy days. I'm just going to push through and do it. And that would have been me sabotaging myself, because actually that would have compounded, my tiredness would just have compounded over the coming hours until I was either crashing out, or more than likely my personality would not have been quite as calm as and balanced as it would have been otherwise. So yeah, just pay attention to where you may be sabotaging yourself. And let's have another card to see what else is here. Take time out. What have I just been saying? Some time alone is needed. Absolutely. Listen to what your body is saying. Do what replenishes you. So for me, my 10-minute lie down on my back, no music, is my energy reset, and that sorts a lot of my day-to-day needs out. But actually for me, I really just needed some sleep. And I always know I need sleep, because I do actually go to sleep very quickly when I take myself off. I'm not just lying there faffing on my phone, which I probably would have done as my sabotage, let's be honest. So yeah, what supports you? That's the question. What supports you? Take the lead. Do not hold yourself back. I love this. I love this how she's walking into the sun and the sea. The only person who's going to support your energy is you. The only person who knows really what's going on in your body on all levels is you. If you pay attention to it, and then you need to take the action. So it's all well and good for me to have said, oh, I'm feeling really tired today, and just sitting there, and I could have faffed on my phone for an hour, or I could have pushed through. But I need to take the lead. I need to make the decision, right? What is going to support me best at this moment? In some cases, it is actually just pushing through and getting the work done. But I knew that I had a little bit of time later that I can actually do and use. So yeah, very important. I think that these cards are great, how they all have the same message and they have the same story that I'm trying to tell. Fall into autumn, time to let go. So we're stepping into spring. We've got these beautiful summery days, the bit of warmth coming through, which is really beautiful to experience. Our days feel maybe a little bit longer as well, because we've got the lightness. There's light in the morning, there's light in the evenings, so there's a bit more spacious. But also there also is this opportunity to review what we're doing, to let things go, move on, change things, because when we let things go, actually we are creating space we're either creating space for new things to come in, or actually we're creating a space, and the space is what is important. So for example, decluttering is something that, as I'm switching over my wardrobes, I am decluttering things that either I haven't worn, and in my winter wardrobe that I haven't worn because I think I don't really like it, to be honest, regardless of how much I might have paid for it. I haven't worn it, don't enjoy it, and it's going. But also, as the summer wardrobe is coming in, I'm thinking again, right, what didn't I wear perhaps last year? What do I not really like? What isn't fitting me anymore? Maybe I need to have a bag of clothes that don't fit me at the moment, but if I don't lose the weight and fit them, then they can all go later in the summer. So, and that's spacious. I'm not clearing clothes out in order to bring more clothes in. What I'm doing is I'm creating a space and the space is the positive energy, rather than creating the space for more to come in. And you get this in obviously cluttered houses. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff in our house, so there's always charity bags on the go as I go through and slowly declutter, because we have a lot of books, we have a lot of stuff that's around the house taking up space and energy. And I keep thinking, if we just got rid of some of it, the house would feel lighter. And that is the energy that this card is bringing to me, is that lightness that you get from a reduction. Now that can be a reduction. You could have a clear out of your emails, for example, clear out everything that's sitting there. I try and do this regularly, and sometimes there's like 800 or 900 emails that I will go through and delete, and I think, well, why are they sat there? Because I don't need them, I'm not using them, they're not important, and clearing them out. And that decluttering is part of this mental decluttering as well. So yeah, what can you clear out to let go, whether that is electronic, whether it's physical stuff, whether it's clothing, whether it's going through your kitchen and your food. Maybe you've got food that you've got in there that you don't particularly think you're going to eat, but it's well in date. You could donate it to the food bank, for example. Maybe you've got courses or tabs open and things that you thought you were going to do, but you're just not getting around to them. And maybe it's the time just to question, is this really something I still want? And if so, maybe pop it in the diary as, as a task to look at. Or maybe it's something that you don't want anymore, and that's okay to let it go. So they are really powerful messages. And they are lived experiences that I am going through at the moment. And I think that's really what makes these readings so powerful, is they are, yes, it's me tapping into the collective and using the cards as a tool to bring that information through. But it's also me sharing my lived experience, which I hope you agree, actually brings a more relatable part to the reading. So yeah, listen to your body. If you are feeling tired, what can you do to support yourself? And you will have your own things. You might love going running, and that might be your thing. It's not my thing, so it's why I don't mention it. But if running or exercise or Tai Chi or yoga, is your thing to do to support yourself, then, you know, find that. Save a link on YouTube for something that you can do, you know, that you can follow along on. Maybe music and dancing. Find that favorite tune and use that to replenish and to shift your energy, because we need these breakers to shift our energy out when we're in these slower, sluggish energies, these lower energies that have the potential then to cascade and expand. They into, whether it's doom scrolling or just doing nothing or not doing the things that we want to do. If we have that breaker that we can do, whether it's a 3-minute listening to a piece of music and dancing to it, or or blitzing a piece of cleaning that you want to do, whatever it is, just think, what breaker can I use to shift my energy, to recognize my energy and support that energy, or use that breaker tool just to break and shift. Sometimes, like I say, actually going around and thinking, right, I'm going to find 3 things, and they could be anything, that I'm going to put in the charity bag. And I might go to the bookcase and look for some books. I might find some clothing. I might go into the kitchen and think, this mug doesn't give me as much joy as it once did, and find these things and declutter them. And that is a lightening of my energy, and that is a lightning breaker for me as well. That I'm thinking, right, okay, I'm going to go and do that. I've accomplished that, and that's a really important thing. I have accomplished that. Like with me, my sleep this morning, I have accomplished my nap, and that is good. I feel good about having taken it. I feel better for having taken it, and I have accomplished it. Otherwise, I could have sat and wasted that hour doing, faffing on Facebook or whatever. But that accomplishment is one of the key elements. I think I might write something about this, because I think this is really important. And these cards are definitely all about this, not sabotaging, paying attention to yourself, taking the time out, doing what replenishes you, taking the lead, because no one else is going to say, oh, why don't you go for a lie down? I mean, we do it to our children when they're small, don't we? Right, nap time now, off you go. Go up, let's go upstairs, or we stick them in the car so they fall asleep. But sometimes we need to adult ourselves. That's definitely the message there. And we've got fall into autumn, that decluttering on some level, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, having a declutter to clear that space, clear that, clear the space for that in itself to be the end result, to have accomplished less in that space, or to allow more to come in, allow something different, like with a business element, I'm going to release this so that I can bring in something else. I hope that makes sense to you. Hope that is of value. Let me know how that lands for you. I highly recommend a nap if your body is feeling low energy. Naps are always my go-to. Like I say, I usually do a meditation. Usually they're about 10 minutes long. And then I will casually fall asleep afterwards. Whoops. But that for me is what replenishes me, that meditation, because that calms my body down and then allows me just to take a little bit of rest. And if I don't fall asleep, that's fine. I've done my relaxation, and I can go off and do something else. So long as I feel replenished at the end, that is the important thing. I wish you a beautiful week. If you are looking to support yourself in a different way, then my Access Your Inner Light membership is available. £22 at the moment and every week you get a video. They are about 20 minutes long at the moment, where we work in the Akashic Records and do some energy work around usually an emotion that's come up around this, clearing that out and activating a new positive in its place, as though we've been talking about. So I'm wondering, we might look at worthiness. I'm not sure. I'm going to sit with it for a little while, because the words, when I read back over this transcript, that'll be when I work out what exactly we are going to look at. So I send you love. Click on the link below if you are interested, or if you want to know more, drop me a message. Sending lots of love. Please like and subscribe, and thank you very much for your time. Bye.